Go ahead, Councillor Link.
Of course, I'll be voting to adopt the agenda as the agendas as they appear on the RM website for the public and on AllNet for council. This does not mean I approve of any additions to agenda items following the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Link. Any other comments? Just a comment from me. Of course, I will be approving the agenda as presented. But given the conduct of council at the last council meeting, I'd just like to review a couple of items on our procedural bylaw, just to make sure that we're following our procedures bylaw. Every member of council previous to his or her speaking shall address the chair. When two or more members address the chair at the same time, the chair shall name the members who is to speak first. Questions are limited to 5 minutes and there is no interruptions. I could also go over our code of conduct bylaw in terms of respectful conduct towards council members, but I think we're all really very familiar with that. And so I also accept this agenda and would kindly ask that members of council follow our procedural bylaw and our code of conduct bylaw and show respect. It is very challenging to get through our business that we have on our agendas with interruptions and misconduct. Thank you. I have a mover and a seconder. We've had an opportunity to discuss, and I will call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, and that is carried. Thank you. Our first item on the agenda for this evening, 6.1, is the Red River Planning District Activity Report. And you can see that we have been very busy. Councillor Busetti and I sit on the Red River Planning District Board and see this information, but it's important to bring to council as well to have an opportunity to see permits issued. We continue to, not surprisingly, be the lead municipality in terms of permits. For the first few months of the year here of 2022, West St. Paul Red River Planning has issued 240 permits for our municipality. That's a lot of work Red River Planning is doing with limited staff. East St. Paul was 42 permits in the same time period, Donator 5, Selkirk 38, St. Clement's 28, and St. Andrews 37. So we've got a lot of our permits going through Red River Planning, and it's important that they're staffed up and able to meet the demand. Mr. CEO, is there anything else that you're wanting to add regarding our development?
I could sound like a broken record and go on. More than 50% of the business now at in the capital regions in West St. Paul. But I just want to talk about how this permits are helping drive our economy. So when I drive around and I see a basement going in, I see a pumper truck from a local firm. I see people that live in the community that build homes, their trucks outside of the activity. Carpenters, electricians are thriving under this environment, and a large majority are local people. And then we have our local businesses, and they're all seeing increased activity with the new residents to West St. Paul. So this is the seed. This is where it happens when these building permits take place. I'm sure you'll probably see some really good West St. Paul hockey teams coming up in the future with all these young families that are going to be moving to these homes.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. Any comments, questions regarding the permit issuance activity report and the applications received activity report? Thank you. Item number 7 is confirmation of minutes. 7.1 is committee of the whole meeting, April 12th. Be it resolved that the minutes of the committee of the whole, of the committee of the whole meeting of council held on April 12th be approved. Can I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Link, seconded Councillor Busetti. Any discussion on those minutes? Just a question to Councillor Link from myself. Are you acceptable with these minutes?
Have we voted? Yeah, yes, I have no problem with the minutes.
I'm just asking on our committee of the whole meeting, it was the RCMP officer that presented to us and shared his information. So I was just wanting to make sure that that was okay.
Well, he was a delegation and he shared his information as part of his delegation. Yes, why would I have a problem with that? I don't get it. But anyway, I'm fine with the minutes.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments for discussion, I will call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, and that is carried. Thank you. 7.2 is our regular meeting minutes of April 14th. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular planning meeting of council held on April 14th, 2022 be approved. Can I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Bisetti, seconded Councillor Craig. Any discussion on those minutes? Councillor Link?
I sent an email today. Is there being a change made in the draft?
Ms. Shaw, I will refer that to you through the CAO.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, we did a review and these minutes should be approved as amended with the change from 14.2 received as information to tabled to a future meeting.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shaw.
Any other questions, concerns regarding those minutes? Seeing none, I will call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed?
Sorry, my internet went out for a minute, so I'm in favor. I'm going to shut off my video just so that my network stays stable. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, thank you. Right, no delegations for this evening or bylaws for consideration. 10.1 is accounts, and that is received there listed for information. We have 14.1. I guess I'll ask on 10.1 any questions, concerns. I know there's some emails. Thank you. 14.1 also listed on here for information for Council Canada Summer Jobs Program. The information there is attached and grant approval, so that is great. I'm not sure if there's anything else that you're wanting to add on that, Mr. CAO.
No, I just want to point out that our grants are led by Eleni Shaw and Mary Geddes. They're the ones that apply for the majority of our grants under the direction of the management team, which they're part of. And we continue to do a good job. And when you do a good job, the grants continue to come on bigger and better than ever. So we'll have a report after all our grants for staffing are in, but we're seeing a larger amount of grants for hiring students in the summer. So that's students at the rec center, students cutting grass at Sonova, students at Public Works. So once again, the success of growth in West St. Paul is leading to a lot of opportunities for students in West St. Paul and also in the capital region.
Thank you, Mr. CAO. Any questions, comments regarding the Canada Summer Jobs Program? Go ahead, Councillor Link.
I'd just like to add to CAO's comments. During my career as a teacher, I had to write, my job entailed writing many, many, many grants. I know it's hard. It's not the easiest job. It's not the most inspiring job. So Lainey and Amara are to be commended.
Thank you, Councillor Link. Absolutely. Any other comments? All right, that's on there for information for us. Item 15.1 is the election sign policy. I will read the resolution and then council can discuss. Be it resolved that the Council of the Royal Municipality of West St. Paul approve and adopt the election signage policy ADM 2022-2 as presented. Can I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Rossetti, seconded Councillor Craig. And before I go around our virtual council table, is there anything that you're wanting to add more information here?
No, I don't have anything to add. There's we've taken out a couple of things about municipal services and facilities, but they're addressed in the other bylaw now. So there's been limited changes to this one, and it's housekeeping for the election.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. Any questions regarding the signage policy for the election? Right, I have a mover and a seconder, so I will call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, and that is carried. Thank you. 15.2, appointment of bylaw enforcement officers. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul appoint the following bylaw enforcement officers as designated officers of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul. Community Services Officer Terry Ferguson, Prairie Bylaw Enforcement Dave Prudhomme, Angelo Chianfoam, Brooke Visca, Gary Simpson Sr. I'm the last person that should be reading names. Can I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Vassetti, seconded. Councillor Link. Any discussion, Mr. CEO? Maybe I'll turn it to you of why this is coming to us now.
No, this is the same bylaw that we had previously, and we're just updating. We had one officer leave. Prairie bylaw wanted to update, and we're going to be busy this summer with. We have some bylaw enforcement coming up, so the lawyers, we're working with our lawyers at DD West, and we're just putting things, making sure that all the T's are crossed and I's dotted to do some cleanup this spring and summer.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. Good to hear. Any questions from council? Go ahead, Councillor Link.
The budget line was 62,500, if you could confirm that. And does that amount include Mr. Ferguson's hours as bylaw enforcement officer, as he's only bylaw enforcement officer for part of the time? And then a second question, will the salaries be shown on the monthly payroll statement or on the payment register as for the animal control officer? And how many hours per week or per month is assigned for bylaw enforcement for Mr. Ferguson?
So we don't assign a limited number of hours to Mr. Ferguson. It depends on the business, right? It's a supply and demand business. The prairie bylaw enforcement is not for the dog enforcement. So we have a contract for dog control with another company, and that's posted every payroll. And these people are on contract, and we pay a portion of this. It goes to Red River Planning. They bill us for bylaw, and this will be too done based on the amount of business we do. And Ferguson's salary is not part of that 62,500.
Thank you, Mr. CEO.
Any other questions from council? Just as a follow-up question from me regarding budget item on the prairie bylaw on Red River Planning items, if it exceeds a certain amount, it comes back to council for resolution. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no spending until that is approved by council. And if I remember correctly, the 62,000 that we budgeted was for legal issues for bylaw enforcement, so that we'd legally move forward and address some more bylaw enforcement issues in West St. Paul. It wasn't for salaries. I just wanted to clarify. Okay, thank you. Good questions. Seeing no further questions then, and with a mover and a seconder, I will call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, and that is carried. Thank you. And those are all of our items on a short meeting, which is a change for us. I will read the resolution to adjourn the meeting for this evening. Can I get a mover, please? Moved by Counselor Bisetti, seconded Counselor Link. We'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.